Alright, looks like we're live. Alright, good evening everyone. Just gonna be tying some flies because this evening I went to the town pool in Pulaski and I lost my last 2 hooks to the bottom. So I am in desperate need of tying some new hooks. So we're going to tie some and chat and answer questions and give updates about Salmon River and the ongoing season that is just now starting. So yeah, if you're in the chat, let me know you're here. And I'm just going to start tying until people have questions, whether it's on the stuff that I'm actively tying or it's about something else related to salmon fishing, or even if it's not related to salmon fishing, that's fine too. It's cool. I'm just here chilling. I'm gonna put a gold bead on this first, if I can. Yeah. I normally put the bead on with a set of pliers, but I believe they're in the garage because I was using them with my 3D printer. So, but we're just going to tie this on here, do a little jam knot. Like I said, I'm not going to go into too much details here, but I'm also not going to sit here in silence without music or anything, so just tying myself in here. I'm trying to see if you can see this on the camera here. I am nearly out of 140 denier yarn here, so not yarn, whatever you call it. I'm almost out, so I really need to be sparing with it. I have 70 denier, but that's really not thick enough for what I want to do most of the time. And I would be remiss if I did not use the glow bug yarn here, my favorite color, which is Oregon cheese. Like I said, I would be sad if I didn't use that. That's as my first one of the season to replenish my box that is now empty. So we're just going to grab a little clump of that, wrap it around the hook. Try not to bump my secondary camera here. Let's start tying that on. I just heard a thump. Might be one of the kids waking up, coming down the steps, looking for me. Alright, normally I would tie a hot spot in this as well, but for this one I'm not going to. It's mainly because I forgot. It's okay though. There's nothing wrong with that. Alright, this thing is in there. Now we're just going to secure it, and that's the simple fly right there. My favorite for salmon season. Now for steelhead season I have a slight variation to this that I may like better. Bump the camera again. But for salmon season, this is all we need. I'm just going to grab this and trim off some of the top here. These scissors are starting to get a little dull. probably from all these salmon eggs that I tie. And what this does is it flares it out to make a salmon egg. And when it gets wet is really when it starts looking its best. When this gets wet, it balls up and it's just beautiful. Beautiful. But it's not a bad looking fly. Like I said, it's really quick and easy to make. And that's all we're about today. Where did I put my hook bag? There it is. Hiding. So for hooks, I'm using Gamakatsu Octopus, size 4. Widely available at Walmart, Dick's Sporting Goods. Really, any store that sells fishing stuff is going to have these hooks. And in my opinion, these are the strongest hooks for the price. Anyway, I won't say they're the strongest, but for the price that they are, they're really good, and they're pretty cheap. So I'm using them. I try to use cheap stuff because I go through stuff so much, and things break and they get lost to the bottom. So why do I need to spend a lot of money on hooks when I'm just going to donate them to the river here soon? So let's not do that. But I'm using another gold bead here. I was going to add some weight, but these flies are small enough that they're going to sink, and I don't think I'm going to need weight. I don't see me needing weight for these, and I don't have a lot of weight left either. I need to restock on some things. Every time I run out, I forget to go to the fly shop and restock my supplies. So it's like I always screw myself the next season. But now that I'm getting back into it, I can remember that I need to get some new flies, tying material. So I need, oops, is the camera still in focus there? I kind of bumped it. I need, there we go. What do I need? I need some weight, some weighted wire. I need some thread, specifically 140 denier thread. And I usually go with the bright orange, but I need that big time. I think I'm good for now. I've got a lot of steelhead stuff from last year ready to go, but I won't be tying my steelhead flies yet. That'll be another stream. And yeah, I think I'm good with everything else. I might need some more hooks after I start tying. I think I got like 40 right now, so that should be good. But yeah, near the end of last season, I dropped my fly box, fell out of my pocket when I was walking out of the stream or the river, and I never found it. It was late in the season in the fall. There were leaves everywhere, and I just never found it. I'm sure by now someone has found it and has been blessed with a lot of flies, but unfortunately it wasn't reported on any of the local sites or anything, so I never recovered it. And then I had like a few handful of flies left in another box that I had, and that's what I was using at the beginning of this season. So now I'm out of those flies, and it's time to refill my boxes here. So we're just tying some simple salmon flies. Egg pattern. I'm using the color Oregon Cheese, which is my favorite color by Glowbug, and then a pink hotspot in the middle. I just gotta whip finish this thing, and then we're good to go. I need to work on my setup here. I haven't live streamed in a long time, and I've got a new desk, and things are just a little awkward right now with my secondary camera, and it just makes it a little more difficult to get this tied. It's okay, but just challenging. But if you just stopped in on the chat, let me know. I'm here to answer any questions anyone might have as well. So let me know if there's any questions, whether it's about tying this fly or anything else regarding the salmon river or salmon season, salmon fishing, anything like that. Just let me know in the comments, and I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. I have been giving live updates and regular updates the last couple days on the conditions of the river. I didn't get to fish long today, about 45 minutes, just stopping through. But from the looks of it, there wasn't a lot of action. There was some fish, but I didn't see anyone hook up or anything. But there you can see that hot spot right there. So, and that's fine. The fish are probably still exhausted from the gauntlet they had to run Saturday. That was wild, especially where I was at the staircase. It was just crazy. And I mean, I heard other people were shoulder to shoulder with folks too, but just the fact that they can push up through that and survive, make it past anglers. But like, it's not surprising. They're pretty incredible animals and fish, because they're so big, yet like even in this clear water, they're hard to see sometimes, and they're very stealthy. They're not idiots. Like, they definitely see you before you see them, and they're really good at hiding themselves. They have really good camouflage. And it's like, how can I miss a 30 to 40 inch fish that's 10 feet away from me? But it happens all the time. And that's why I always I fish all the holes every time I walk past. Even if I don't think there's fish in there. Even if, for example, like someone's fishing that hole and I don't see them catching anything, don't see them catching anything, don't see them catching anything, and then they leave and I'm ready to move, and I move down, and like a few casts later I catch one. So I always check the holes for that reason. Like I said, these fish are camouflaged very well, and they've adapted to these conditions over who knows how many years. And like, I'm not going to fight against nature. I'm just going to double check everything. Check twice. Measure twice, cut once, you know what I mean? Alright, we're going to tie another yellow and pink one here. We're running out of thread still. But I do prefer 140 denier thread on salmon and steelhead flies. It just gives you a little more strength to tighten everything down. Because like, these flies take a beating. And I want everything tight. And I'll also, excuse me, I'll also put a dab of head cement on these, on the thread wraps underneath. At the end of the night when I'm done tying everything, I usually do that step all at once. I'm trying to keep my fingers out of the way here for you guys to see, but like I said, it's an awkward setup. Maybe I'll show you guys at the end. I'll show you guys the setup I have here going on with my secondary camera, which my secondary camera is an old Android phone of mine that is just on Wi-Fi, no SIM card in it. Alright, you gotta really grab this clump now and just start hacking away at it. Cut straight across, about a hook gap in length, and then just trim anything else. Might take a few trims. Just like that. Perfect. Little tiny salmon egg. And then all we gotta do is whip finish. Which, with this setup, the whip finish is the hardest part for sure. Six turns. Alright. Good hook. Alright. Look at that. Look at that salmon egg. Yum yum. Alright, we got 3 down already in the first 20 minutes here, or slightly less than 20 minutes. So it's awesome. Love tying these flies. They're just like rinse and repeat. I'm gonna do sets of 3 in colors tonight, so I'm gonna move on to a different color combination. Does anyone have a favorite color combination that they're thinking of? I've got a lot of glow bug yarn here. I like green too, but I think it's really similar to yellow right now, so I'm gonna go with something like pink first, and we'll do the light pink, not the hot pink. So I think this right here, it's like cotton candy colored almost. Yeah, it doesn't actually, this one doesn't actually say the color, but to me it looks like a cotton candy color, and I really like this one for steelhead, but I can use it for salmon season as well. For the hot spot, I'm gonna do like a red, and I have this like box of like spare like junk that I've tied here in the past, so I usually use it to just pick out like little clumps of red in this case for the hot spot, and just kind of clump it together and roll it in my fingers here, and then I have less waste and I don't have to use up a whole new piece of yarn for this fly for the red. So that's that. I'm using Prime Fish Company beads, 4.8 mil. I believe I got these off Amazon for pretty cheap, but they're really good for this size. Up to like size 2, I think, is good with them. With the size 2 hook though, you got to use a set of pliers to kind of force it around the bend of the hook, because it's a little on the small side for 2, but it still works. The key part with putting these beads on is that you got to check both ends of the bead, because they're not the same. One is wider than the other, so you put the hook point through the narrow diameter end, so that is the end that is closest to the hook eye. I heard that there was a fight that broke out the other day at the staircase. I just missed it. It was right after I posted my video. I was walking out and heading to hockey practice. But yeah, it was between 3 guys, and then a 4th guy stepped in to break it up, apparently. But apparently it was pretty good from the guys I talked to. I didn't see the video, but it was on Shane's Facebook page. Apparently, it's probably taken down by now. But I didn't give it a look. If you're part of Shane's group, but yeah, fights already breaking out in September, first week of September even, and we haven't even had rain. Once we get like a good push of rain, man, it's gonna be good. Uh-oh. Running low on string here. It's like not tight. My bobbin isn't holding it tight. I'm gonna have to like pinch it with my finger. Alright. We're gonna have to whip finish this now because it's about all she wrote. Yeah, I'm out of string. I'm not just holding it loosely now. Might as well give it a few more wraps and call it quits after this one. On this, I'll use the 70 denier next. But for now, I'm just wrapping this around, doing some figure 8 wraps and some full circle wraps above the hook on only the material. Some double in front, some double in backs. Just keeping this as secure as we can get. Now I would finish it again. I'll just do a ton of whip finishes here. This thing is going to be secure. Most secure fly ever. Once I put some head spin on this thing will be bomb proof. Oh, it's a lot harder to pull with just your fingers. Alright, and then we got 4 inches of yarn left there, thread left there. Not a lot left over. Alright, good snip. Good snip. And voila. Salmon egg. Number 4. We're going to try to go through at least one pack of the Gamakatsu octopus hooks here. It's a pack of 10, so we'll have 3 different colors and then a 4th. Maybe I'll just tie the same color 4 times instead of 3. But I just want to get a quick little stream in here. I'll probably go another 30 minutes. I don't want to be up too late, but because I gotta get up early. But forgot my bead. But we'll keep the stream going here. Nobody has got any questions out there in the chat? Fine. You don't have to be shy, but you don't have to ask questions either. Just be here to take it all in, and you could be away from whatever you're watching it on and not even hear me right now. I get it. I put things on my phone and then walk away. Sometimes too. Alright, I gotta rethread bobbin because this guy is empty. We're putting on 70 denier ultra thread in orange, and we're gonna hope that the thin diameter of this thread is gonna hold. I think it will. It'll, from my experience with myself, it will last longer than it does with me getting it stuck on the bottom, if that makes sense. This thing is not going to fall apart before I lose it anyway, so no harm, no foul. But this thread is considerably thinner. If you go back to the last fly and compare this, I would bet that you could see it on the screen here, how much thinner this stuff is. I gotta be a little more careful when I tighten things down. But okay, we're gonna do another pink one. We're gonna do one without a hotspot this time. Yeah, let's do that. No hotspot this time. We'll do each color one each with no hotspot. The first one I did with the Oregon cheese color was no hotspot. Does anyone have an update on the football game? Is it still going on? I need DeAndre Swift to not have a great game for fantasy. And I haven't checked the scores. So I was driving and setting this stream up here, so didn't get a chance to watch any of the game tonight. You can also tie these, like when you cut the yarn, you can cut it to double the width of the hook gap, so then you don't have to trim any off at the end, which could make it quicker, but I find that it's more effective if I trim the excess yarn off at the end, just because I feel like it gives it a little more flair. And when I say flair, like when you pull it tight and then cut it, the yarn kind of spreads out on its own a little bit, which is good for the shape of the egg. And I don't know, it might just be a personal preference of mine. My bobbin's twisted up a little bit here, so I gotta untwist that, hopefully without losing the thread through the hole. Alright, we're good. Okay, now we pull this tight and start trimming. If you haven't seen these glow bug yarn like patterns, they look kind of raggedy right now, but when they get wet, this like fluffy material just clumps up together like in a perfect shaped ball, and it just looks so realistic. I can't explain it other than like what I just said. It's magic, man. It's freaking magic. Magic. All right, 5 down, 5 to go, and we're on pace for our 1 hour time limit, I think. Anyway, phone real quick. Alright. Good to go. See, I'm hoping there's a good push of fish for this weekend for anyone coming up. But I can give a more well-informed and honest opinion probably by late Thursday or Friday. I know that's not always not enough time, for everyone who has to make a decision on whether they're coming up or not, but I don't want to give false information either. So, and I'm not going to lie to you, like, you guys know that if I am telling you that there's fish here, that there's fish here. If I'm telling you to, like, talk to your wife or your girlfriend, like, right now and ask if you can go, or tell her that you're gonna go, or him, like, that means you better get in your car and you better get going. Like, I'm not joking about this stuff. Never have, never will. And I'm also not going to lie about it. I know that some people are, I'm not going to say like accusatory, but I think some people are a little skeptical of some of the reports around here. I won't name any specific reports, but I think you probably know what I'm talking about. Where, like, they might put out some information that gets people excited, and some of the information might be on the false side of things, where they kind of over exaggerate, and then because they want people to come to their spot on the river, or they want people to come to the town of Pulaski and boost the economy there a little earlier than expected. But I have no reason to lie about stuff like that. There's no benefit for me to lie about my updates. So if an update is wrong, it's because I made a miscalculation, or I read the situation wrong, or got some misinformation. Oh no. Sorry guys. You now see my ceiling. Yeah, thanks setup. Really good setup here. Still, there we go. As soon as I bump that again, it's done. What was I saying? My information's right. So if I do get a report wrong, which is certainly possible and probably has already happened, it's because of misinformation that I believed from someone, or just bad observations. But it's not ill intent. Like, I'm not trying to sabotage a trip for you guys. Like, I'm trying to give you honest feedback and info, so that you guys can be informed and decide, make a decision on when you're going to come up here or down here or over here or wherever you're coming from. So I know people travel a long ways to come here, and I'm blessed to have access as much as I do, but not everyone has that access, and I realize that. So anything I can do to help. trim here. And we will have 4 more to go. We got a new color coming up next. I could do blue or white, but usually those are reserved for steelhead season for me. So I'll probably do green. Yeah, like a fluorescent green, not like a yellow green. All right. Yeah, what do you guys think? This color here? It's a little reflective on the light, but hot green. Yeah, let's do it. Hot green. This stuff is a little thicker, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it first, and then I'm going to split it in half and use it for like 2 different flies. So I cut it, and then I think you can already see it's like flat. I'm going to just split it apart, and then I might twirl it, twist it in my thumb a little bit like that, and then I don't have such a huge clump to work with anymore. And it saves me double the material. Which, I mean, this stuff isn't expensive. It says $2.39 on the wrapper. And it's got like, does it say how many feet? Yeah, 12 feet of yarn. So I just saved 1.5 inches by doing that. So I still have 11 feet and whatever left. I think we'll be all right. Okay, new hook. Right. New bead. No questions out there, huh? It's alright. It's alright. I'm sure you guys have probably already done this. You guys are probably already ahead of the game, and I'm late to tie in my flies for the fall season. But it's alright. Because I had to tie them this time. Because I am out. Like, I have a whole bunch of flies, but I just don't have a lot of salmon eggs. Like salmon flies. And I've got like some crazy wild attractor flies still. But I usually just use salmon eggs. I'm not into the wild patterns. For steelhead, yes. For salmon, nah. It'll be alright. Let's see. Hotspot. Well, we'll do our one non-hotspot one first, just so I can gauge it and see the color here. On red hook shank. So and these hooks come in red and like black nickel or silver or whatever. I personally don't care what the color of the hook is. I don't know that the fish care what the color of the hook is. They're gonna see the egg and the bead before they see the hook. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm completely wrong and they see the red hook and they don't like it, or maybe they like it. Who knows? I don't have any empirical data to confirm or deny any of this, so that's an awful sound. Sorry about that. You guys had to listen to that? Oof. Alright. Since this is a thinner clump, I made the cut a little more thin, a little shorter as well. So looks pretty good. Oh, where did I go? Down here. Yeah, not a bad pattern. Not a bad color. It's not my favorite, but it'll do. It'll do, donkey. That'll do. Got 3 hooks left in this pack, and that's all we're gonna need for tonight. Got a long day tomorrow, and I don't think I'm gonna be on the river tomorrow, to be honest. I'll see if I can provide an update by calling someone I know, but see if he's willing to just share an update. Oh no, I just dropped a hook, and I don't know if it's on my chair with me or if it's on the ground, because I did not hear it hit the ground. Well, I might find that later one way or another. Dang. Butterfingers over here. Dropping more hooks than Xavier Worthy. Did I put a bead on that one too? If I put a bead on, it'd make it a lot easier to find. I don't think I did though. Oh well. It's metallic red. It should be able to find it later. Might be a tomorrow's problem though. Alright, now we need a hotspot, and I'm going to use, or should I say reuse, one of the cotton candy pink pieces. I took a little clump off of it, and then I just put it in the middle of this, and then make sure that the thread goes in the middle of that as I clump it on here. So then it centers it and gives me like the most out of the... see? It's the first time that happened tonight. I'm surprised I lasted that long. That's why I don't like the 70 denier thread for these flies anyway. The 70 denier is goated for trout flies, but salmon flies, they're not the greatest. I gotta rethread this now. Got a little moisture to help it slide in there. And we're golden. Now I'm gonna just tie like over this. Gonna pretty much restart, but like I don't have to actually restart with this thread. I'm just gonna like make sure that I get both clumps here, do a few forward wraps, a few rearward wraps to like lock it in place, and then I can snip both of those ends off. Alright, Let's try not to break it again. But we gotta tie it on. I'm less concerned about the security of this fly than I am about snapping off and restarting another jam knot, especially at the beginning stage of tying this. It's a little more difficult now that this is on here, but even then I could still do it if I needed to. I'm gonna look for that hook after this. So we'll be going for a minute. If you guys need a break. I just don't want one of my kids stepping on it or grabbing it on accident. Alright, little guy. Perfect. Good hook. Right. I'm gonna throw up some pictures here for you guys while I go do this and find this hook that I dropped. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. I found it. It was right under my thigh. Okay, but I knocked over my camera again. So. But we got it. Which means we have 2 more flies to tie. And we're just coming up on an hour. But also, tying 10 flies is not enough for me, personally. I am a firm believer that if you are not losing flies to the bottom, then you are not getting deep enough. You need more split shot. Firm believer in that. Alrighty. So, you can't have too many flies because you're going to lose them, especially in the Salmon River, in my experience. And that's perfectly fine. Just buy more flies or tie more flies. Who doesn't like doing this? So, I remember when I lived in Arizona for 3 years, there was like no fishing around. There was like a few lakes, like an hour and a half away. But the fishing there was just bad. Like so bad. And so I picked up fly tying, which I was already doing a little bit of fly tying, but I like really got into it in Arizona. And yeah, I tied 3 years worth of flies there. And I still am using them in my trout box. Well, box is, I should say. I have multiple fly boxes for trout. So alright, second to last fly here for the stream. Sadly, it's coming to an end. But that's okay. Like I said, I will not be good for the season with 10 flies. I'll be good for my next trip up there, but I go up there like every day. What's sad is tomorrow I'll have to drive past it, and I don't think I'll have time to stop and fish. So that'll be fun. But hopefully you guys can get out there, and maybe you can comment and let me know what it's like out there, how it's going. How about the viewers? With an update. Ooh, look at that. That hotspot's got a little red tip and some pink in it. Nice. Alright, we are down to the final Gamakatsu octopus size 4 hook of the night. I still have 3 or 4 more bags left, so that means I'm gonna have to go to the store and get some more here soon. But nothing wrong with that. Can never have too many Gamakatsu octopus hooks, in my opinion. The stream is at 58 minutes. I know it didn't start right away, but can we tie this before in the next 90 seconds? I think we can. But we're not going to rush it. But I think we can do it. We don't even have our color ready yet. That's probably going to take the longest. It's just getting the yarn cut. And I'm going to go with the yellow cheese. No hot spot, because I kind of like the way that one looked. It was our first fly tonight. Ah, and that does it right there. That's we're definitely going to bust an hour now, for sure. There's no way I can retie this jam knot in the next minute. Oh, maybe I can, because the thread didn't pull through. Alright, let's see. Now we're going to rush, because I think I might actually be able to do this. Where are my scissors? Uh, 15 seconds, there's no way. We can't do this in 15 seconds, guys. Sorry. Sorry to disappoint. I blame the thin thread that we're working with here. But we'll be just over our last second goal there. even if we didn't snap, it's it probably would have been a little difficult to do that in 90 seconds. I've done it before in less than that, but not after. Wow, what is going on here? That did not work out. Come on. Oh my god. This has pissed me off. I hate when this twists up. Alright, there we go. Like I said, this is awkward, and now I'll show you guys the camera setup here in a second. Super awkward. Very difficult to tie. Okay. That just needs a big trim because it's way too long. Oh, perfect. That's beauty. Beautiful. Beautiful, chat. Beautiful. And there it goes. Alright, so here is the setup you've all been waiting for. So I have my old phone here on a cardboard box on a subwoofer, and then I'm using the smaller tweeter speaker on top of the subwoofer to hold the camera up. And that is the setup right now. But it's pretty cool streaming from the phone. Here is our flies that we tied tonight. Looking pretty good. They're gonna look good in the box tomorrow. And hopefully we get some fish off these and get to post a video. So I will see you guys next time. Everyone have a good night, please, and good luck out there fishing. Hopefully I see some of you guys out there. I'm starting to see people in the comments letting me know that they've been seeing me out there. So if you see me, let me know. Say hi. I love meeting new people on the river, and it's fun meeting new people, just talking fishing and messing with each other, you know what I mean? So everyone just let me know out there on the river, and we can fish together, hang out. But tight lines, everyone. Have a good night. I am out of here.